Hi, and welcome to another edition of Jules Voto's Photo Focus. The final verdict. Film, DSLRs, or mirrorless? Which is best overall? Now, in my last three videos, I went over each of these types of cameras and listed my reasons why I thought one was better than the other. The first one was 8 reasons why film is better than digital. The second was 13 reasons why a DSLR is better than a film camera. And in the last video, it was 11 reasons why mirrorless is better than a DSLR. Okay, so just a few things about each of these types of cameras. With film, one of the big things is it forces you to slow down. You only have 36 pictures on the roll, and you really got to slow down, take your time, and think about each exposure. Also because film is kind of expensive. With DSLRs, one of their big advantages, even over mirrorless cameras, is battery life. Those batteries will last a long time, much longer than a mirrorless camera. Also, with respect to Nikon, if you have a DSLR, most of the DSLRs at least, you can use the old screw drive AF lenses, the AFD lenses, which will not autofocus on Nikon mirrorless cameras. And with mirrorless, there's a lot of advantages. What you see is what you get in the viewfinder before exposure. Many of these cameras have built-in image stabilization. Now that's something I didn't add to one of my 11 reasons, and I'll tell you why. It's because I forgot. So that was a mistake, but I mean that is a huge advantage. So maybe there should be 12 reasons why mirrorless is better than DSLRs. But overall, for me, without a doubt, it's mirrorless. Now, I still shoot film from time to time. I just like using the old cameras. It's kind of nostalgic. I started with film cameras. I started in the early 70s shooting film with a Pentax single lens reflex camera, which was very basic, very simple. And that's one of those things that I mentioned in my previous video that I liked about film was the simplicity of the camera, where there's a bunch of dials and switches and menus on mirrorless and DSLRs. A film camera is very simple. But film is also very expensive. And in the long run, it's going to cost you a lot more to shoot film than it would to shoot digital, even if you bought a top-of-the-line digital camera. But for me, I prefer mirrorless over the other two. I still use a DSLR. Like I said, I still shoot film. Now, I will continue to shoot film from time to time, but most of what I will be doing will be with mirrorless. And there's just so many advantages. The subject recognition, even the lenses. Because of the short flange distance with mirrorless cameras, that gives some freedom to the optical engineers for lens design. And I know with Nikon, the Z-mount lenses are better than the equivalent F-mount lenses in most cases. So that's another advantage. Although, let me just say something about sharpness. Film, digital, SLRs, mirrorless, they're all going to produce sharp images with good lenses. But how important is sharpness? I think we put too much value on sharpness. And unless you're printing big, a less expensive, less sharp lens is going to work out fine. You're not going to see a difference until you start really enlarging that image, whether it be film or digital. So I know you each have your own opinions, and I would like to hear them. Do you prefer film? I know there's a lot of shooters today, a lot of people shooting film, especially young people. I have a nephew who swears by film. He has several film cameras. In fact, he just bought a medium format film camera, and he loves it. But he's not a professional. He lives in New York, and you know, New York is a great place for photography, street photography, and he just loves film. He loves the look of film. I love the look of film too, but I think digital is better. I think you have lower noise at high ISOs. I mean, there's so many advantages. Just look at my previous videos and you'll see my reasons. There's a place for DSLRs. I mean, if you already have a DSLR and you're happy with it and it gives you the results you like, no need to go to mirrorless. We don't always need the latest and greatest. I did a video a little while back on the Nikon D7100. And that's a 10-year-old camera, and it still produces great results. And I'll tell you, you're not going to see the difference between an image shot with the D7100, which is a 24 megapixel camera, and the Z6, which is only a few years old. You know, unless you're shooting in real low light, the Z6 will give you lower noise. But are you really going to, looking at a picture on your computer screen, are you going to really be able to tell the difference between if it was shot from a 7100 or a Z6? So probably not. As long as what you have, whether it be DSLR, film, or mirrorless, is doing the job for you, I see no reason to upgrade. Now, if you're a professional and you earn your living in photography, if you're a sports photographer, wildlife photographer, you're probably going to want the latest and greatest so you can compete with other photographers. But if you're an amateur taking pictures, family pictures, travel pictures, pictures just for pleasure, then whatever fits your needs is the right camera for you. It could be a 10-year-old camera, it could be a brand new camera, or it could be a 50-year-old film camera. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Please leave a comment in the comments below, whether it be film, digital, SLRs, or mirrorless cameras. And it'd be great to get your feedback on this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I come out with a new video every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.